and in particular, welcome to Shelton Lea at the Rochester Castle. Shelton chose the Rochester because of its legendary status as one of the initial and great reading venues for poetry in Melbourne. Dorothy Porter, who is going to launch Shelton's book, Nebuchadnezzar. Almost all of you in the room will know of Dorothy. Apart from her multiple prize-winning books, she has the distinction of being only the second Australian poet to have had a work of poetry filmed. The first, of course, was C.J. Dennis. That was a silent movie. To launch Nebuchadnezzar, the more vocal Dorothy Porter.
I'd just like to say that we really have shown tonight what the poetry world can do. Thank you all for coming. It's more than an honour to be launching Shelton Lea's fiery and enchanting and ballsy and heart-achingly humane book, Nebuchadnezzar. It is a gift to me. It's a deep pleasure to be launching this book. Arthur Boyd's cover painting, Nebuchadnezzar Burning, is a fabulous painting, an unforgettable image, and a fucking hard act to follow. Especially the painting's burning, gobsmacking testicles. You can go and have a look for yourself. Reminding me of how few Australian books of poetry, whether written by men or women, have balls. Even shriveled white balls, let alone red hot coals balls. Again, have a look at the colour. But like Boyd's burning Babylonian king, Shelly too is on fire in this book. And this is a book with balls, red hot ones, Shelly, with a rhythm and swagger of sweet anger. Shelley tilts at all the serious windmills, sex, love, art and death. But also the book thrums with a gallantly old-fashioned political heart. The poems stroll the streets of Fitzroy and Clifton Hill in Melbourne or Redfern in Sydney, Shelley's haunts. But the people and landscapes of the poems haven't been gentrified. Like from the poem 1988, the parky darkies round their campfires in the dreaming of Redfern, or in the poem Fitzroy, the streets full of children sucking lollies, next to old men with no tomorrows who rock on broken chairs and stare at a bitumen sea, or the brutally murdered poor mug Paquita in Poem for Paquita, but oh Paquita, so often seen on Johnson Street, a bright Contessa bestowing your graces, equally so live fated in fact, that you should be made to bleed from your eyes, your nose, your mouth from being bashed. After reading these passionately empathic poems of Shelton's, I felt a kind of shame. I felt as if I've been walking these same streets and neighbourhoods with my head up my safe middle-class butt. Like all good poets, Shelton Lea has ripped off my eyelids. But there is also the private Shelley coming through these lovely and lyrically intimate poems. The Shelley who can write so movingly of very different men like Adrian Rawlins and Barry Reed. I'd like to now read Shelley's spot-on and wonderfully sad and droll elegy for Adrian, who I also knew well.
Radiant Awning.
That's the one. Radiant Awning for Adrian Rawlins, 10/11/2001. I wish Adrian was here to hear this. I think he is. I still can't comprehend the 3,000 people who perished in New York a day before Adrian died. Yet I can recall at least 3,000 people whose lives were affected by Adrian Rawlins, at least one. From Hernando's in Armidale in the breezy early 60s, when the golden leaves of autumn skirled along the high street. Jazz Centre 44, mad turret of music opposite the leery grin of Luna Park. Black Allen, Mariwala. If you're white, it's all right. If you're brown, stick around. But if you're black, then brother, get back, get back, get back. Jazz music muting soft sounds of the sea, while Adrian read a set with Cedar Green. First time I heard poetry with jazz. The Black Pussycat, and Albie with his LSD, and Tats Hotel full of desperates, libertarians, lovers who free fell into the 70s, anarchists, and Adrian. Frank Trainers down the lane where Glenn Tomasetti crooned folk, and Judy Jacques ululated her strange jazz, and Adrian. We'd stand on the bridge and look at the sad Yarra, and here's my favourite line, more gropers on the banks than in the water. I'm going to pinch it, Shelton. Flinders Street Station loomed on the unlit side like a sphinx. The soft shoe shuffle of the square dance called from beneath the fairy lights of the Trocadero had just disappeared, and the ferries were tacked a bed beneath the Princess Bridge. Adrian and I staggered there recently and marvelled at the change of our beloved river. Then came the 70s with his Urimba smile north of Gosford for the first of the festivals, where he out-thringed Thring, and not easy. And I supplied the dope that was smoked openly for the first time in Australia, as reported by the BBC. After this life, his life was a constant confest. Launching pad, Walasha, Maiponga, Muwala, booze-ridden Sunbury, its heart hijacked, stalled. Tannel Corn, where he was always there, Tame Lawn, where he was always there for others, with Miho Baba at his side, and live now as his credo. His belief that art resides in the heart, as strong at the end as it was at the start.
Yeah.
To finish with a poem that for me illustrates so beautifully not Shelley the friend, not Shelley the charmer or piss elegant flaneur, not Shelley, one of the few people this gutless Puritan has shared a joint with, not the Shelley with his marvellous feel for the outlawed and the dispossessed, but Shelton Lea the poet and artist. Just listen to this terrific poem with its exquisite and subtle homage to Virgil. This poem, and so many others in this On Fire collection, Nebuchadnezzar, will long be remembered. And I'll finish by reading, I think, which is a fabulous poem, Shelley, the Aeneid becalmed in a pond. I wish Virgil was here to hear this.
He is.
He is. Thank you. My echo. The Aeneid becalmed in a pond for Margaret Gold. Our dreams, implacable as the boat riding on eddies of casually flung rings. Below, the singing fish horses whose voices sound whispers from beneath their own swirls inhabit this impeccable sea. Is there a constancy between water and air? The brief touch of our breath forms a pond of words. Are the eddies common to us all? Was Palinurus asleep at the helm again? Is he overboard and feeding the fish whose soft kisses devoured him? They swoon lazily and breed beneath the hull. Are the lost steersman's echoing calls the transcript of our arrivals and departures, our tender thoughts described in circles as the ripples on the pond? Thank you, brother.